Hi guys, thank you for stopping by. My name is Jermaine, aka Jay, and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.
Previously on Jay's Big Chat.
I think it would be amazing if these people were to, including myself, realise that, hey, hang on, there's enough of me, there's enough of people like me, people that are disenfranchised, maybe like myself, that if we actually voted, we can
totally.
True.
So maybe it starts with us, because you've said something that they obviously don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe we have to somehow influence our
I feel
circles.
this is just a moment.
Should we do it? Should we do it? Yeah, should we change the world? That's it.
No, because
It's done.
he just said maybe they don't think this and they should think
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
it's like
There's
maybe you
enough
should
of
tell them.
Yeah.
If you look at
It's true.
education, I mean, I worked in colleges for a couple of years, and the way that you know about the Ofsted,
Yes.
how the way it all works.
Yeah.
So a lot of schools aren't doing as well as what they used to because there's no real impact. And one of the main things why there isn't impact is because young adults. There is segregation still happening to this day, and it's the teachers that are actually implementing it because they're not giving kids, young adults. Well, it's not necessarily just equal opportunity. They're not they're not showing them that they have a chance, that they have a future.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was in my convent school, like a nun giving me career advice. She told me, yeah, retail, definitely retail. That's what she told me. Like that was in the 90s, early 90s. I was being told.
Did you go into retail?
Well, I didn't choose that I chose it like as a Saturday job.
Okay, right.
You know, it's one of
Yeah.
those things-
It wasn't something that you aspired to
because
do.
when she said it, you can't imagine the words that were going through my mind that I couldn't say to a holy
To a
woman.
nun. Yeah,
Exactly.
of
But
course.
I was thinking, all I had in my head was, I'm going to flip and show you.
Yeah.
And the thing is and I think my focus is I wanted to help people that were disadvantaged, and that's what my focus for my whole career was. And I've only recently left that career because now it's just turned into some sort of weird monopoly now where everything's actually going back to the privileged, and
Yes.
and it's really, really sad, and it makes me, that's why all I've just said is now, because I told you what job I'm doing now. My focus is society. How can I help society? How can I help society think differently?
Yeah.
So, I'm probably getting a bit spiritual.
Well, no, but I mean,
But I think it's one of those things where I do want to, whenever I see kids out in the street or if I meet kids, especially in colleges, I try and educate them as much as I can. But one of the things is what everyone else is saying is knowing your worth.
of course.
And that is so important.
Yeah.
Can I just bring up, because
it's very interesting because I've been on a speakers panel and you've seen where we've gone through to schools and you've got young people standing up and speaking about topics.
Yeah.
And they're actually really, really switched on.
They are. Yeah.
And the Speakers Trust is a place where it's encouraging young people to speak up with their voices. And some of the subjects they were talking about, really hard-hitting political subjects,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, these are thousands of children going through this.
Yeah.
So actually, we've got a great platform for youngsters that can really make a difference in our world.
Yeah.
So my thing is that I've seen them at this point. So where's that part that's gonna, when it just starts toppling over?
Yeah.
Or
I would say I think we're in a time where
Revolution.
and also no, not even that. I think we're in a
Revolution, sorry.
I don't think you're sorry. You wanted to get that point across.
Sorry.
Viva Revolution. I think we're in a dangerous time because I think a lot of kids coming into adulthood, they're becoming consumers. They're becoming disenfranchised. They're not really participating in world building and country building. I think that's when you're going to have people that are privileged are going to move into all of these spaces because these people are not pushing to get involved. And I think that's when you're going to have the big split divide between rich and poor, is when poorer people are not saying, hang on, my voice is as equal to yours.
But how does politics help that?
I don't think politics. I wouldn't say everyone in politics, but I don't think politics. I don't think they mind.
Yeah, I think media. I think media is part of
It comes down to
no, because
voting.
I think it's actually part of media, because if you're saying the great divide is happening, it's because of basically reality TV, all this rubbish stuff
Oh, yeah.
are just dumbing kids down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think is really important, because you've got all these rich kids that obviously don't really watch any of the stuff, and if they do watch it, they've got the money to buy all this stuff.
Of
So you've
course.
got all these younger kids that are all watching it that may not have that, and all they think about is quick money, and they're showing all
Yeah.
these shows for
I mean,
people to get quick money.
yeah.
And it's not.
Christina, what I've learned to appreciate is everyone's born, within their circle, not by choice.
No.
Right? So whether you're born into upper class, middle class, a lower class, whatever classes you want, wherever you want to put yourself, right? That's not your your choice. That's just the way that it is. So I've grown to accept that. Okay. What makes a good politician? Before I get into my next point, what makes a good politician in your view? Think of someone, or
Depends.
what qualities make up a good politician?
It depends what the goal is. Is it to become elected, or is it become to tell the facts and the harshness of reality? If you're there to tell the harshness of reality, I'm sorry, you might not get elected. You might.
So you don't think honesty is?
I mean, no. I don't think honesty wins elections. Quite frankly, as sad as it sounds, I think these people realize what they're doing. They realize it works, because the populace has been dumbed down to an extent where if I tell you, actually, guys, we don't have this money, we can't afford to do this. Whether we can or we can't, that's a different story. But this is how it is.
Didn't Theresa May say to the public about, we don't have a money tree, and suddenly DUP comes along and then she fishes out and gives
I'm
them
not on
billions.
party lines. I'm not on party lines.
Keep going for a
I'm
minute.
I'm not on
Another jab.
I know, right?
Hey, she's good.
Come over here.
That side must be hurting him right now.
You are on the left side.
Let's switch it round.
I'm moving
To be
slowly.
fair, I was listening to everything you were saying, and no, so I've got lots of respect for you.
What I'm saying is
I was
that
listening for you, but everything that you said that you want is not true to me. So
no, it's not the party. I'm not talking about the party lines. I'm talking about how do you tell someone the hard facts if there is possibly someone else that's going to tell you, don't worry, I can. And I'm not saying what parties, but I'm just saying.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm saying that it's-
I wanted to say that I just want someone that is honestly, truly there for the people.
Yeah.
So and will actually listen to the people and actually help the people out. So even if it's one party, even if it's people spread across the entire country, I think that's something should actually take place. And I think, to be honest with you, that everything should start again. We can't keep on going to these same parties all the time.
But I think it's
It needs
human
to be-
nature. It's always going to devolve.
No, it's
into...
called conditioning. That's what it flipping is. When you look at it,
Yeah, but then
it's
someone's
conditioning.
always going to cheat.
Yeah.
Someone is
No, but
always
it's-
going to
no.
want to cheat.
Well, look at this independent party that's come out recently. I mean, it's clearly like another Tory party in some sort of, with some Labour candidates and some, Tories sort of shoved in together. But it's all the same crap. We need something different. We need something that will honestly really look after people, not someone who's going to get money from all these different places.
I think Marc has the answer.
Yes.
I feel like Marc has the answer to all of our problems.
Come on,
Our solution.
Bit of pressure, but no.
Make it good. You've been waiting.
Make it. I was going to
Make
say.
it good.
The people are watching
I
you.
was gonna say that it comes down to leadership. That's what I would like to see in a good politician. Someone who has a good track record of solving problems.
I told you he's got the answer. He's a good leader. It's true.
I don't think.
Sorry.
And I can't think of someone right now, but there's examples. You say honesty doesn't always work, but the thing is, if you're honest and you say there are problems, and then this person can give solutions, and even if they can't give them right now, at least you look at their track record and you can see that they've actually solved the problems and they've stood up for the people, and also that this individual, that this person is relevant to the season that we're in, to the times. You've got
That's a key point.
Yeah, because
the relevance of
different periods of times
the person.
that we've been through history. For example, there was war and we needed a leader. During the Great Wars, that was just for that time. But then once the war was over, you never saw that leader again.
I think it's
So it's about
idealistic,
looking-
and I think it's good to be
Looking for
idealistic.
people like that.
But I think the issue is that Brexit happened, Trump happened, and it's kind of like people voted for this thing, and it's kind of like you want an artistic leader, but then you also have a vast majority of our populace that doesn't believe in facts. They don't believe in. They're looking for the person that sounds nice, the person that's going to tell them what they want to hear. And I think, I would love to have an idealistic politician. And I think we should have an idealistic politician.
Don't you think? Because I think part of, for me, the experiences that I've had watching the different parties come into power is that you'll have a party that's been in for 4 years, 8 years or so forth. Then another party comes in and they're going to spend most of their time undoing.
Which is what I think our healthcare and stuff should be separated from government. There should be an independent body or something, simply because I kind of think sometimes for just out of spite they'll undo what the past did. If it's working, then
So if it becomes independent, how would it be run? If
That's
not by
the-
And
government?
who are they accountable to?
I do
that's
see
the
flaws in
problem.
it. Yeah, there is flaws in
But
it.
actually, that's not actually a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. But it's just, I think I'm just trying to look at, okay, so who would run it?
Yeah.
But that's like what happened with BT. That's what happened with the utilities and so forth. They made them independent, the transport. And then again, that's where more backhanders and dodgy dealings happen.
Because they're not
I mean,
accountable.
because our train service is absolutely amazing.
Well, no,
I was on it today.
It's funny.
I was on time.
I'm thinking like, you guys are talking about Brexit, and I'm thinking about all the money that's been lost in Crossrail.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? All
Well,
of
how
these
about-
things that are
okay.
going on.
How about campaigns, right? And the money that goes into these campaigns.
What I would say is,
Well, we had a hand up first. We got to go with the hand.
Okay.
Right. I think.
Marc, you've got to give a hand up.
Yeah. Oh, you had a hand up as well. Do you want to jump up?
Sorry.
Okay, so we'll go you, then you, and then you, and then.
I'm just jumping in.
Okay,
whenever.
fair enough.
I
Rebel, of course.
think that corporate companies,
Yeah.
any sort of businesses should not be involved and should not give money into political
I agree.
parties.
It should be
I think it's the
people.
public people, the public people, the
Yeah.
people.
The people.
The people should be giving money towards their parties
Yeah.
should they
Okay,
want
yes.
to,
Okay.
along with ideas
Yeah.
and moving forward. Not because these companies that are paying in
Tend
are
to-
getting something back.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And they're getting cuts, they're getting deals, I mean, obviously, and I mean, I don't know how 100% true that film Vice was, but that for me was quite a clear example of what was going on in America with Cheney. I don't know if you've seen that one, but I highly recommend you watch it.
America is very,
Yeah.
very, very fishy because it's
Yeah, but
just
it's fishy
so
here.
much
It
money.
stinks here.
Oh yeah,
It stinks.
definitely.
It
But
does,
I think
yeah.
we're going towards the American path where it's just millions upon millions of dollars are thrown at candidates. The amount of money they spend.
It's ridiculous.
How much did I think Obama must have spent? $1 billion or something like that. Like a lot of money in his whole campaign. A lot of money gets thrown at these people.
What are you thinking, Mark?
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking. I was thinking. You said Obama, and I was thinking that who were his donors, and it's so dodgy sometimes because you had one. What's his name? The man that was convicted for being the big movie.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, he was one of the biggest donors, and I was just thinking they can be so messy sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Didn't
they were
Cheney
journalists
play?
asking questions like,
Cheney's his cousin.
why is this man who Weinstein?
Didn't know.
What did you say?
Who's Weinstein's cousin?
No. Cheney is cousins with Obama.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're related.
You see, that's interesting. Didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
See, look, you get revealed.
I do.
So is this in the film too? the
No,
experience?
it's not in the
Okay.
film. It's just I just do a lot of
No
research.
research.
Yeah,
I've just
but
been doing a lot of research.
it's a boxing match, these things, because
Yeah.
you've got. I remember when Trump came to announce that he was running and whatnot, and you had Mitt Romney that was in the same party but criticizing him, and then Trump was saying that last time around when Romney was going forward, he was begging Trump for endorsements. And you know, and you know what Trump is, he's just bashing and saying, you're like, Mitt Romney got on his knees and was begging.
It probably happened. I mean, maybe not exactly like that.
Yeah,
but it probably went.
It does.
Yeah.
In a way.
Exactly like
So
that.
I think it happens.
They need the money.
Yeah. So we're talking politics. We've gone through Brexit. If we had to take Brexit out of the equation, for now, what do you believe are some of the biggest political issues that we're facing within our society today that needs addressing? Yeah.
Austerity, privatisation, I think is very important. Well, education, definitely. I mean, that needs to be revisited. 100%. Yeah. Because I think our educational system is dated massively, and I think we need to move along with the times. I don't like the fact that children under the age of 11, definitely 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, are going to have to do tests. You know, we're basically going to give kids nervous breakdowns, you know, at such an early age, and potentially mental illness. It should be children.
I do think it's kind of like, it's very competitive.
No, of course. Listen. I
That's
understand.
why it's very difficult.
I do understand it 100%, right? But going back to what you're saying about,
They
well,
just
not
start.
100%.
No, I was going to say teachers are supposed to, the reason why teachers become teachers is because they want to make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
Children should be allowed to be children and learn at their own pace and basically be taught in a way where they can actually build themselves up, but they shouldn't be under pressure.
No, but I think
at
that's
a
the
young
difference.
age.
I think that they need to be educated and they need to be
No.
taught. Because
I agree about educating kids, but I don't agree that they have to have tests. And hearing things like that, my God.
No,
the
the
4-year-old
reason why I'm
must be sitting there
challenging
stressed out.
this is that I've heard places where it's like, just let the child just play.
No, but that's where I feel like that's where balance comes in.
I don't mean like some sort of
Like-
bohemian commune.
that's
where you
that's
give
what
like
it-
thumbs up into the age, you know, nothing like that.
Because-
But I'm just thinking education, like the way we were educated in schools, you know, back in the day. I'm not saying that it's changed much because it probably hasn't, but I still feel that we had a bit more freedom. The first time I had to test was probably towards the end of primary school. I didn't have any tests in.
But
in
you
nursery.
wouldn't. The thing was for me was that you wouldn't know if you was being tested or not because everything was made to look fun, feel good, like you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
You learn more when you're having fun. So
now it doesn't sound like it is.
No,
now it
yeah.
sounds like, you know, pressure.
Because growing up for me, I remember a lot of pressure, just like that, just like how you explained it.
Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school?
In different places, but
Okay.
let's just say France.
Okay.
Yeah, it's French school system.
Totally different, would you say, to
Yeah.
over here?
It's a bit like,
Yeah, I would say it's hardcore. So there's that kind of pressure, like you don't want to fall behind. Yeah, and you're what? You're like your child. You're six years old. You're in year 1, year 2, whatever. And then you're just thinking, man, like my whole life.
My whole life depends on this test I'm gonna take.
And I was alright. I was doing well, but there is that kind of pressure in that system.
I think it's a very tricky subject to get right. It's like, how much do you push them? Do you not push them? It's like, do we aim them towards things that are going to benefit the country, or do we just say, do what makes you happy? It's very difficult. Do we push them towards
I feel like this is where it needs to become a topic of conversation. So again, you know, what needs to change within, you know, within politics, and you're saying like the education system needs to be revisited, you know, and maybe that does need to happen, you know, where you're talking about
austerity and privatisation as well.
exactly.
You know, I think people's attitudes just have to change. I mean, well, not necessarily has to change. I think people just need to be educated in a way that they understand why they're thinking the way that they do, and just basically have different options.
Be open-minded.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it'll be nice if people started to think a lot more about humanity, because it looks rather than, you know, money. Which is, you know, a shame. You know, there's so many people out there suffering because they don't have, and you know, I know that there's certain political parties that say, you know, people who you know, haven't got any jobs, the reason why they're not doing it is because they're lazy or blah blah, but realistically that's not actually the case. They've just not been given opportunities like some other people have.
True.
I think it's like, there's a lot of the issues I think comes down to mental health, and I think that gets brushed under the table. I think a lot of there are reasons behind why a mother that is struggling finds it very difficult. I mean, sometimes it's not mental health, but I think you want the best for yourself and your child. But when you can't do that, there are undertones of, I'm struggling, I can't push myself. How am I going to push my child? It's kind of like things tend to repeat themselves. Like kids tend to be like their parents, and I think how do you get inside that space? How do you try to affect things? Because it's kind of like it's the nanny state, and it's kind of like, how am I going to tell you to raise your child? How am I going to try and get you out of
There's
it?
so much in that.
Yeah.
There's so much in that because, if we look politically, you've got the universal credit, which really puts people on the poverty line. While they're being assessed, they're going without money for how long, which then puts them into a situation what they're supposed to do. How they're supposed to feed their children, send them to school.
It's just exacerbating the problem quite well.
Totally. I'm even going to bring up the point of young girls not being able to attend school because they haven't got no sanitary. So those basic needs.
I feel like there is something missing, and when we talk about, again, what has been shelved because of Brexit, because over the last 3 years or so, that has been prime time discussion, and you look at, I'd like to take it to the streets and the cuts that have been made, when it comes to like the policing, when it comes to support workers for vulnerable children and so forth, for the healthcare and whatnot.
I think the solution to this is voting. People that have an interest in fixing their lives and fixing their communities, these are the people we need to get.
Okay, so I 100% hear voting. So we've all voted, right? Now it's for these politicians now to deliver on that vote.
If they don't
right?
deliver, then the next cycle they're out.
You see, but
And
that's
then they will learn.
okay.
Actually, I need to be.
But
doing
I think
what people are telling me to
that
do.
we as people need to be talking more. We talked about education. I think for me it all goes back to community. At the end of the day, if we're all saying with one voice, then they have to listen. We can vote, but if they're hearing,
But that's the problem.
But that's what the local MPs should be doing.
Yeah.
The local MPs should be gathering local people from the local area, getting their point of view, and then feeding that information back. And they're
That's
kind
it.
of doing it at the moment, but they're not doing it in a way that's actually effective.
No.
All they're doing is just talking in parliament,
Like
and nothing's been done.
Yeah.
I've never heard of any town halls in my town or any
Town hall meetings.
Town meetings.
Town hall meetings, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one. Like I've never heard of anything like I would go to something like that.
Yeah.
To hear, I know who my MP is, and I don't know what he sounds like. I don't know. I mean, shame on me. I don't know his policies
Yeah.
and stuff. And I think if a town hall meeting, I would love to go to something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
participate.
Yeah.
Well, I can say in my borough that they're doing more like that. They do meetings, they send tweets, they do local for our borough. Not even just the borough, but it's for our community. So I'm Manor Park. So they do a lot of different things. But again, it's for us to go out, have a look, see, research, ask questions as well. So I think it's a two-way thing. They need to do more for us, but we also need to do for ourselves.
Otherwise, they will do it.
Yeah, because I'm an activist, so I actually go out on lots of marches, and I'm actually active in my local area. So it's true, getting involved does actually make a difference. To be honest with you, nowadays going on marches doesn't do as much as what it used to do.
No.
Because the last march that actually made a difference was when I went on a march for to not close down the A&E in Lewisham Hospital.
Okay.
So that was the last one that actually made a difference, and that's a long
Imagine
time.
you've got to go on a march
Yes.
to not to you know what I mean, to
Yeah.
stop an A&E department from closing down. It's
Let's just don't cut it anymore.
it, no, but that, but
They've got shredders everywhere now.
it's a strange one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, regardless of who's in power, regardless of whichever MP, whichever Prime Minister is, do you feel like it's same old? Because we've all lived under several parties being in leadership, right? Do we feel like it's affected our everyday life in any way? Yes or
I know
no?
I voted Tory, but I would say that it's.
You feel bad now.
No, it's not that I feel bad, because I think at the moment, at the choice I
Own
made,
it.
I would have made that choice
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Don't
I think,
have it,
but I would say, and this was Margaret Thatcher times. I wasn't in this country, so I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I would say that austerity has. I mean, a lot of people are suffering. I don't know the facts and figures of it. I'm not going to claim to say.
You mean
that I
under
know-
this government
Yeah,
now?
I'm not going to say that I know the economics behind it. I don't. But what I would say is you can see, and I've been in the healthcare system and I've seen how bad it is. Like stayed in the system for a little while, and it is bad. It is dire. It is bad. So I don't know. It's like the money. I can't say whether the money's there or not. It's buddish. It has to be there. You know, we need to put it there. We need to find it from somewhere. And
Well, it's
because
funny that
these
you
are-
say austerity. I don't believe austerity has ever left us. I mean, back from Thatcher days, you know,
It's
they
just where
made
they're
it.
trafficking the money, I think.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think they're just not putting the money, sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you. I just think that they're just not putting the money into the right areas to actually help these people. They're focusing it on different things. And I don't think, I know I've been winding you up about the party vote, but I just don't think it's got anything to do with that.
Winding.
Yeah.
Jabbing.
I'm gonna say that. But the thing is we can't necessarily blame everyone for this because, Tony Blair was running the Labour Party. There's all these different people that are running, different parties, and, it seems to be about what is beneficial for them.
to win.
No, it's just beneficial for them.
Okay.
That's the thing. I'm actually seeing it as, how does it help them? How does it help their family? Because I mentioned this to loads of other people. Tony Blair went off, started a war, left the Labour Party, and then when he left, he went straight into Arbuthnot. Arbuthnot was like a massive financial firm, and he was like a financial consultant.
Yeah, and he was.
And he absolutely screwed up most of the money for this country. So how can he be offered this job as a financial consultant when he doesn't know what he's doing?
Yeah.
So sorry, it's just things like that I just think, that's why I keep on saying, something needs to start again. The people really need to get involved, and I think the whole government needs to, and we need to literally start at the
The likelihood of that happening?
very less than likely, because it's not going to be in our benefit, it's
No.
going to be in their benefit, and corporate companies, all these other people in the government are benefiting from this. So why are they listening to the people?
Of course.
They don't listen to us, they just get our votes and sit
Yeah.
there and sort of tickle us and make us all happy.
that's
And they're
Tickle
like,
us.
vote for me, vote for me.
Tickle, tickle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we go, all right, then I'll vote for you. And then we
Yeah.
vote for them, and then it's like,
But you know what? I'm really feeling kind of saddened now because
Sorry,
I'm actually.
Sorry, that's such a positive attitude. Happy,
Mark, I told you, you've got to keep her happy. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
There will be a change. No, but honestly, when you
it's about hope.
Change is coming, and this is the thing. There's been a massive shift in the world. Sorry, I'm turning it around now. There has been a massive shift. People are actually getting up. More people are actually getting. Every time I go on marches now, there's more and more people getting up. There's more and more people that are realising.
But is it knocking at death?
You're changing the way that you think, aren't you?
But is it knocking at?
To be honest, I've always had a liberal way of thinking.
No.
It's just
but
So no,
that's
it's got
what-
all
I'm
free.
not- I'm not digging at him. I swear to God. It's just the fact that because people vote for certain people.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I've said. Even my husband said to me, he goes, "Oh, that's a bit Tory-ish. What you're thinking, what you're
Yeah.
saying." And the thing is it's not really about that. People's minds are just sort of changing because what they've realised is humanity itself is suffering, and we're paying the price for other people's greed. And I just don't think that is fair. So I can't tell you what the solution would be because I know flipping no one listen to me. We're like,
Well, once again, I think Mark has a solution for us.
it's true, like,
It's been pondering on
I
this for a while.
mean, deep in thought. I mean, I feel like this is it.
Oh
You
wow.
know, I feel like we can shut the show down
yeah.
after this
no.
because
It's the message.
Okay.
No,
Go on, Sam.
Wow.
Mark for Prime Minister.
I promise to change. No, look. No, I think that this whole people are tired of the mess that they've seen with how they've handled Brexit, and that's why I was saying change is definitely coming because I do believe people are waking up and they see that they have a responsibility to engage in politics, and also the proof is in what you said. Young people, you've met young people who are really switched on. So that's actually I didn't know that. So that's very positive, and so I forgot about the other point, but that's pretty much.
yeah.
What I would say
I think-
about
I think
sorry to
that's
interrupt,
true.
what I say about young people, they tend not to vote, which is very sad. Young people and just for some reason they just don't vote.
But I think the next cohort that's coming through,
Generation.
they're
It's true, young
strong.
adults are
Yeah.
waking up.
it was so great that you brought that up because there were lots of youth groups that actually started signing up to politics and creating their own parties. Because I remember for our borough, they were out there trying to get votes and organising themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look what's happened for climate change. Just recently, all young adults took to the streets and actually
Yes.
had a march.
Yeah.
And what they've done has actually caused, they're actually saying there is going to be emergency climate change. So, you're right. People are waking up, and I'm just so glad that this generation has done that. Because I must admit, when I was that age, I don't know if I was as active as they are. So, respect to them.
And I think it's the exposure that we have now of the rest of the world. I mean, Mr. David Attenborough, when it comes to exposing us to the damages, the world beyond our four walls, and we have to take those steps to create that better tomorrow.
We have to wait till Trump is out because I think the world follows America.
See, the thing is that you're saying wait. Why?
No, I don't think we should, but I think that's what's gonna happen. I think
Because the world follows America.
What America's doing is slowing down the progress. Because if America's not doing it, I mean, India's not going to move as fast. China's not going to, even though they're kind of setting the trend for.
No, but we need to start the trend then. You don't wait.
No, but the thing is, you're saying we've got to wait for Trump to get
No, I don't think.
No, I'm just saying there's another election coming up.
Yeah.
How do we know if he's actually going to get elected back
That's
in?
the problem.
And he likes to tell everyone, that he's going to come in to make, he's going to sort out the NHS. We're going to get all these US deals. We're going to get food that isn't even food.
No, we're going to get all the hormones and
our food.
But the thing about it as well, sometimes we also need to keep our eyes.
They love the
We need.
Exactly. What's your brand?
Corn syrup.
Sorry.
We need to keep our eyes open because it's not just Trump. There's other politicians out there. This is all.
starting to copy.
Because sometimes the people that are making the biggest noises are distracting us from what's actually really, really
So I
good.
think maybe a good topic also is media coverage. Because I was convinced that Trump wasn't going to win. Until the day.
Do you still believe? You still can't believe it now? Because I can't.
No,
I still can't believe it.
No, I'm used to it, but I'm just so shocked that on the day, as he was winning states, they were still saying, but Hillary Clinton is projected to still. And I was thinking, well,
Can you not see what's happening?
So it was just the extent at which they gave the wrong information is maybe
I think
But
they
it's just like when Al Gore actually won the presidency, but in fact,
you're going back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fox News said, he had won. So the thing is the media. I think you're right. The media has such an influence over the public,
definitely.
and we are all like exhausted.
So if we,
But it goes into the payments then, obviously.
exactly. That's what I mean.
So,
That's what I mean.
okay, so I
It's
then.
fake news.
So
Last bit I was just saying is party political broadcasts. More of that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just like you've got adverts. That's more adverts for politics, spreading words to that.
But it only happens when there's elections.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Do more
more,
of that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Make that.
And debates as well. Public
Yeah,
debates.
true.
That's
Yes.
where the public are asking.
That's
them.
true.
So
There you go.
put them
That's
on the
true.
spot.
So I
That's
watch
it.
Question Time, like every Thursday, Question Time.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
anymore. It's become too right wing for me.
I haven't watched it since the new presenter has come on.
Yeah,
to be
she's.
honest.
So guys, we did it.
Yeah.
And I still feel like we're comfortable to keep going on.
I still say vote for Marc.
But listen, Marc for president, Marc for prime minister, and this is your cabinet.
I'm just trying to be like
Yeah, this is how I'm playing myself. Oh, listen. I want to be like you.
I'll be the lobbyist.
Well,
yeah.
no, guys, honestly,
Do you want to say something for your campaign? The camera's on you. Go on.
yo,
Are you serious?
anyway, it's your
my
time to shine. It's your time to shine.
Brain freeze. I don't know what to say. Vote for Jermaine.
Oh,
He will
God.
change it. He will make things better.
See the pressure. See the pressure. See the
See the
pressure.
pressure you put on me. See this guy.
Listen, no, seriously, we will
He's
definitely.
doing a great job.
We'll definitely be a fighting force in this world.
That's right.
But well, within our little corners, as much as we can.
As much as we can.
Yeah. And honestly, I do thank you guys for joining me for this episode of Jay's Big Chat. We had a good chat.
Yeah.
Can I say thank you?
Of course,
because
yeah.
actually everything that we've been
Inviting us.
talking about is that you're doing this right now, bringing us together and having
Oh,
this
yes.
conversation.
Yeah.
So
Very
it's
true.
making a difference.
And it's good to see that we've kept different backgrounds, you know, different way of life. But still,
I think what brings us together is we're all decent human beings.
we're decent
Yeah.
I
human
think
beings.
that's the main thing, you know.
We are.
Are you sure? Don't vote.
No, we're all doing things for society.
Well, you change your mind. Is this the new Prime Minister?
See how it works.
Is this the new Prime
I don't
Minister?
like this guy.
No. You see, you say one thing wrong, right? Or you one facial expression wrong, right? And that's it. They no longer want you.
No, but that's the thing. That's what society's done to us.
It's
all.
what society's done to Marc.
If you think about
So
football
it's done
teams,
to
and
me.
if they fail within like, if they lose 3 games,
That's it.
out.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
right.
Yeah,
It's
that's
true.
how it
Football's
is,
the
yeah.
worst.
It's true.
Football is-
It is. Guys, honestly, you've talked enough. We've spoken enough. Thank you very much, guys. Please join us next time for Jay's Big Chat. We'll be discussing parenting. For now, thank you very much. On next week's episode of Jay's Big Chat.
Culture plays a big part. So, for example, I would joke with the kids, play with them, but the day or one time I remember my son going, "Don't be silly, mom." I'm like, eh? Who? I changed the tone.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.